La 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 Newport. La 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 Newport, Newport, Newport. Festival, oh festival. La la Newport. La la Newport. La la Newport. Festival. La 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 Newport. La 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 Newport Festival. Festival special Newport. La la Newport, la la Newport, la la Newport. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bam. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newport-on-TayTV podcast. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
How you doing?
Grand.
And we're going to do a festival special today.
We are,
and that's what. Yeah, we've got the Newport Festival, big, massive Newport Festival coming up this weekend. So we're not just going to speak about that, but we're going to have an interview with 4 people. Mark, I interviewed 4 people at the same time.
Ooh, how was that? How did you find it?
Well, it was all right.
4 times better.
Yeah, 4 times better. So we've got an interview. They're not 4 times better than our other interviews, but they're good interviews coming up. So that's going to come up. So we've got a Newport Festival. We're going to tell you a bit about the Newport Festival as well, just after the interview. Also today we've got coming up, we're going to go through the people that have written in about famous people in Newport.
Oh, nice.
There's been quite a few.
Yeah.
So quite a few people have been in and out of Newport, and we're going to kind of list them after in a wee minute, okay?
Yeah.
Then we'll do an interview, and then we spoke about famous people and forgot to mention that we booked a very famous person to come to the Rio and play.
Did.
Well, I did. To be fair, yes, that's
Very
true.
modest,
But yeah, but you played at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and became quite good friends with him because he used to get in contact with you on Twitter after it and what have you. So and this person brought another famous person along another time. So we'll tell you the story about how I booked a Sex Pistol to come to the Rio, okay? And we'll do that after the interview, and then we'll have a wee song, and that's what we'll be doing. But so thanks everybody for writing in about famous people in Newport. We're going to read some out, but we have some very special news, of course, don't we? I think everybody knows already.
Oh, yeah.
It's great news, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Betty Martin she is now. She was a local celebrity anyway, but she's gone national because she's now Betty Martin, MBE. Fantastic, Betty. Well done. We have an MBE in the Rio. So if you're coming ever to get a free lunch at the Rio, just remember now, it's going to be served by it's going to be cooked by somebody who's got an MBE, which is fantastic. So Betty, you deserve every little bit of that MBE. So we just want to say a big, massive congratulations from the Newport-on-TayTV podcast. So yeah, brilliant. And we do have to mention as well, on that, I think it's an MBE, Jeff Gadd, who is it Richard Gadd?
Yeah.
His dad, who's a professor of mould, I think I've got that right. He also was in the honours this year. So.
My dad was telling that yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it's true.
Yeah. Well,
it's
Dad told me so.
And is it mould that he's into?
I don't know. I hope so.
Something very scientific, something beyond our ken. Anyway, that's what he's won the MBE for. But so well done to him as well. Obviously, we've got to mention everybody. But Betty, absolutely, Betty, we're more than happy. We're so pleased that you won the MBE. So congratulations. If you see Betty, give her a shout. So there we go. Right. So shall we get on to famous people in Newport, Mark?
Yes, definitely. Looking forward to this.
Well, I've got now the first one we've got to read out actually is. And I've forgotten her name, but it's Miriam Margolyes. It wasn't her name I'd forgotten actually. She played Pomona Sprout in the Harry Potter films.
Right.
Yeah, I've never read or had anything to do with Harry Potter, so I don't know. But they're huge films, aren't they?
Yeah.
And she's actually been in the Newport, the gallery, Taza Gallery. Quite a few times. I think she likes an artist there.
Picture sitting in there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We'll have to nip into there actually and have a word with them. But yeah, so there's one. Now the person who sent that email in, I deleted it by mistake. So I'm sorry.
Technology, easily done.
I know.
Well, it's not easily done because it's quite difficult.
Well, I thought it was the print button, and I was going to print it out. And the next thing, I deleted it, and I couldn't find it again. So if you wrote in and your daughter had seen Pomona Sprout, Miriam Margolyes, you will get a pencil, but you'll have to write back in because I've lost all your details. So do that, okay? So Mark, have you got any interesting ones on your list there, actually?
Yeah, there definitely is. So let's have a look. I quite like number 4, Joyce Williams, a former professional tennis player, visits Scotland every morning.
Every morning?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. TV. We're celebrity spotting every morning now, right? And that's Joyce Williams. Now this is from a list, I have to say, from Morag Rowley. And family, I think, who's sent in quite a comprehensive list of who has been in Newport and who hasn't, and where they've been. So Morag, thanks very much. We'll definitely drop a pencil off to you. And she's spotted Judy Murray has been in the tennis club. Well, in fact, on the 9th of May 2015, just to be absolutely sure. Yeah. So we've got the date and everything there. So Judy Murray, she's been swinging about Newport. Miriam Margulies, we've mentioned. Nick Nairn. He's very famous, isn't he?
He's quite, Sandy Toksvig.
Sandy Toksvig. She's been in the Manor, apparently.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of people have been to famous people into Manor.
Yeah, if you want to see famous people in Newport, nip into the Manor. Yeah. That's the place to be. In the place to be, as we keep saying. Ellie Harrison. Apparently, she has. Well, she's not been in Manor, but she went into Scotmid. Oh, there you go. Ellie Harrison. So she's been here. Now here's a big one. Diane from Manor, and we've actually got. And I think it's the only one, photographic evidence of this. So we'll put that up on the Facebook page. Ben Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd
from Breakfast Television. Ooh. And I think I think he does Good Morning now.
Right.
I'm not that au fait with daytime television, but Ben Shepherd, quite a big name, and we have a picture of him with Diane. Nice. I believe that she hardly ever mentions it, but she let us know about it. So she's. I think I'm joking about that, but she's about that. So and a local celebrity, we've got Chris Harvey, of course. He because he's always on STV News, and I think he's from Newport. Is it Newport?
I'm not sure.
Chris Harvey. So he's a famous person, and Morag goes on to say, of course, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip
as well
were here, and I'm saying we've got
no Manor.
They were what?
They were in Manor.
Were they in the Manor as well? Well, I thought it was a bit, but I'm saying there's no photographic evidence. There's photographic evidence of them in the library.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can go and see a film in the library about that, and so listen, Morag, thanks very much. That is a comprehensive list of famous people in Newport.
Yeah, good reading.
Good reading indeed. And Mark, remember we were speaking the other day and I said, I know someone. So I don't know somebody famous in Newport, but when I used to clean windows in the 80s, Nina Mishkoff's mum was on my window cleaning round.
No way.
Yeah. And she
Did you meet her?
What?
No, Nina Mishkoff's mum.
No, yeah. Oh no, she used to come out and speak about her all the time. And it was, I think she was on, what was the thing that she was on? She was a judge on something, wasn't it? It wasn't Stars in Your Eyes. It was.
I'm not really sure.
Oh goodness me, something like that. And she was kind of the nasty. She was like pre-Simon Cowell, nasty Nina Mishkoff, and her mum used to come out and speak to us. Well, I think it was her mum anyway. I never saw her, but there we go. But so there's another one, Nina Mishkoff and Phil O'Hare. He's written in.
I was going to say, he's quite famous as well, Phil O'Hare.
He's quite famous in Newport, isn't he? A famous. If you want to know anything about Newport, Phil's the man. He does tell us a lot of stuff, but he gives a great one. Are you ready for this one? Matt, do you want to do a drum roll for this or something? If you can. I know that's a bit impromptu of me.
What's the paper?
Yeah. Phil O'Hare spotted, coming out of a gold Rolls Royce, Joanna Lumley.
Joanna Lumley, I didn't expect that, no way.
No, Joanna Lumley, and she used
in a gold Rolls Royce.
In a gold Rolls Royce. Well, he did say, I'm not too sure if that bit's true, but I thought, well, that's too good not to be in. So yeah, she was in a gold Rolls Royce, and I spoke to Marion from Sutherland's, and she has confirmed that she actually came more than once. So famous Joanna Lumley. What? Yeah, I'm going to write to her and see if she remembers Newport. See if she'll come do an interview.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll say yeah.
I know.
When she sees us huge listening figures, she'll be in touch. So that was Joanna Lumley. So that was from Phil, and now Phil also mentioned, but this is a possible, and we're going to do a full-on podcast investigation into this. He said the Beatles were on the ferry, and they hopped off the ferry on Newport Pier. Apparently, and we're not mentioning names here, someone took photos of this event, and they are still in he still has them, or they're still available. So we're going to look into that. Beatles apparently hopped off the ferry at Boat Bray, took a few photos, and hopped back on the ferry. So maybe they weren't that impressed, actually. But anyway, so possibly the Beatles. But if you could shine any more light on that, ladies and gentlemen, do let us know, okay?
Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, the Beatles. Well, we've done the Rolling Stones, haven't we? Yeah, because my grandparents saw the Rolling Stones, so they've definitely been here. So, well, we say that. But and we've got a couple more. We've got quite a good one here. actually, and Spuff. Remember, Spuff, yeah. So he wrote into us, and he said Edwyn Collins.
Oh.
Yeah, he's great, Edwyn Collins. I like him, but apparently he lived in Newport.
He lived in Newport?
Well, just for a short time, and this was in the sort of, I imagine it would be sort of about mid-80s when he was in Orange Juice, and they used to come and rehearse here in Newport or Wormwood, and he went along to the Brigadier and said, listen, would you let us play a gig here? I've got a band, they're called Orange Juice. And at the time, they said no.
No.
They said no, because they thought they were a punk band.
Right.
And they were going to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So they refused. And then lo and behold, 3 weeks later, where did they play?
The Rio.
Top of the Pops.
No way.
Yeah. So we missed the boat on that one. Like, hey, it's the Top of the Pops. So that was. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for everybody for writing in. And if we read out your name with regards to famous people in Newport, then what do you get?
A pencil.
A what?
A pencil.
A what? Mark,
A pencil.
A pencil. Yeah.
Podcast pencil.
And we do have some here. I've got to count them up, actually. We're running out of them, I have to say. Like, there's people swirling past my window and going, can I get a pencil? I'm like, they're not just like for anybody, you know. But anyway, so they are getting a pencil. And by the way, if you have a pencil and you haven't sent me a picture yet, go and do that. You don't have to, but please do, because we love to put pictures of people up on the page and stuff like that, don't we?
Yeah.
So we can see it. So yeah, I think we did not bad there, did we? Have we missed any out, Mark? Was that the famous people in Newport?
Yeah.
And we're going. So we've got. Oh yeah, I think we've gone through them. Oh, Stuart Porter. He's an actor who's been in quite a lot of stuff, Taggart, stuff like that. He's from Newport, and I think there's a. He's in an quite famous Iron Brew advert. So there's a local celeb.
Yeah.
Stuart Porter. So he's been here as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is.
Timmy Mallet again.
Timmy Mallet. We may as well mention him again. Yeah, we mention him every time. Timmy, why haven't you been in touch yet? We mention you every episode. So honestly, just keeps ignoring us. We're like some desperados, like, you know, trying to get Timmy Mallet to pay attention to us. So massively famous. Now, there's probably going to be famous people playing at this Newport Festival on Saturday, and if they're not famous, maybe pre-famous, we'll maybe have some famous people that become famous, you know, once they've played Newport. But we're going to learn about the Newport Festival, ladies and gentlemen, now in a wee minute. Keep your emails coming in though. Again, it can be on anything, so famous people, you can still write in about that, or even if you have any questions about Newport or anything like that, just write into us, okay, and we'll try and answer them in a kind of amusing fashion. I think that's what we're going to try to do. So we'll try, that's not a promise, but we're going to give it a go. But yeah, there we go. So thanks for writing in. Plenty famous people in Newport. If you know any more, send us in. If you've got any pictures of you with famous people, send them in. And if you want to ask us any question about Newport-on-Tay, write in, and we'll do our very best to answer, because we want you involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Shall we do a little bit of a song before we get on to the interview, Mark?
Yeah.
What have we got written? Do we know?
Not yet.
Not
Surprise.
yet. We're going to write it now.
Yeah.
Shall we just stop there?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're going to stop there. Here's a wee song. So we've got a wee song coming up, and then we're going to go with the interview. Okay, so do stay tuned. Cheers. I am a Newport hunter. I'm looking all of the time. I am a Newport hunter. Even when there's no River Tay, we know what to say, we'll take it anyways. One more time, Mark.
Of course, why not?
I am a Newport hunter. I'm looking all of the time. I am a Newport hunter. Even when there's no River Tay, we know what to say, we'll take it anyway. And there we go. I tell you what, let's go to our big interview with the Newport Festival gang. Enjoy it, and we'll see you at the end of it. And here we are. Okay, hello everybody.
Hello.
We have Angus, Sally, Becky and Sarah, and they're they're the main people in the festival, and are going to tell us all about the Newport Festival today. And for this purposes, we're in the Newport Club, which Angus is a member of.
Yes.
And
Committee member,
in fact, and we're looking over, we can see over the Tay, and we're sitting in the bar, but it's shut, and Angus doesn't have a key.
No, they won't give me a key to the bar.
A little bit disappointing. But anyway, but we're here to talk about the Newport Festival. So Angus, let's kick us off. You've been involved with it for quite a long time, and I think mainly you're the main man for booking bands, etc. Is that correct?
Yes, and well, in the last couple of years, last year, I was taking on more of that responsibility because I had been in a band and played in the festival in bands in the past. So I've always had contacts in the music scene. Last year I just basically contacted all the people that had been involved in the past and said, why don't we do it again?
Because of course there was a 3 year break, wasn't it? Because of COVID.
2019 was the last one.
Yeah.
And then obviously 2020, 21 was a no-go.
Yeah.
And I remember 2022 thinking, why is the festival not happening?
Yeah.
And that's when it didn't happen until last March. I thought, hang on, it's getting close to the summer, so we should think about it. And it all came together very quickly.
And that was last year.
Yeah, and it was a great success. I think we all got involved.
It was super last year.
So in some ways it was a bit easier when it was so. Right, we've only got 2.5 months. So you just get everything done. And this time it's been like a long, slow process. Yeah. And that's felt a bit different, but it's much bigger and more varied this year. Yeah. And it's going from strength to strength, and it's sort of expanding time-wise, space-wise, and next year it'll be even bigger.
Even bigger next year, right? Well, no, that's good, and it's getting bigger and bigger because I think this year, sometimes it has just kind of fizzled out in the evening, but in other years it hasn't. But this year there is an event.
Last year, the first year, Sally and I were involved in the end of the day, 2013, the end of the day, which was June the 22nd as well. I think. We had the big event in the church, but of course the church has gone since then. Yeah. That was Cinderins, or whatever they were known as then. Last year, because it was quite short, and we didn't really know what was going to happen, what was the reaction and the reception. We didn't go for an evening gig as such, but there was a lot happening in the club here. Yeah. And it went on till quite late here with an open mic. I think was the last thing, and that was, everyone enjoyed it. Yeah. But we knew this year we had to.
So we're rounding off the festival with
Funk Connections. Supposedly, I haven't seen them, but they're supposedly really good.
I have had a look online, and they look absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So it's going to be a banging night. Sally, you get tickets from your shop, your lovely shop at the top of the high street.
That's correct.
Are they still available?
Yes, although there's not too many left now, so get in quick, guys.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, get in quick because there's not many left, and you go to the top of the high street to Mojo Interiors.
That's correct.
And see Sally, and and is it fun booking all these bands, Angus?
Yes, it is. The one kind of flying ointment this year has been the venues. So last year we had the Boat Bray and the Newport, although the Newport weren't really too involved last year. But this year it's been sort of the hokey pokey, they're open, they're shut, they're open, they're shut. So there was bands booked, then they were unbooked, and then they're booked, and then they're unbooked. It's been a bit of a pain in the hooky, but we've come through it.
It's looking good now. It's all looking good. They're all reopening.
The Newport Inn is going to have Havana Swing, which is a great band who had a big hit last year. The Boat Bray will be open, we hope, and there'll be music outside the Boat Bray in the
cobbles,
the boatyard area. There'll be a gazebo, and there'll be Dolly and friends doing session music, and there'll be another band after that, a 3-piece Scottish band, Skeeries. So that's a big plus as well. So the music's going from down there on the high street to the club, to the Rio, and then at night to the Blythe Hall. So it's
good. It's a good really, whole day we've got here. So it's going to be brilliant. So Sally, you were involved. I think everyone was involved, but Sally, you were involved in the very first Newport Festival, which I understand was 2013.
Yes.
So how did it come about? Why did you think? Look, I tell you what, Newport. I mean, it's a fantastic place. It needs a festival. The answer's obvious. But why did we need a festival?
To bring people into the village, because we lost the bank. And as a trader at the time, it was catastrophic because the farmers' wives were no longer coming in. The trade was significantly lower. It was a bit of a disaster, really. And like I say, being a trader, I just thought, right, how can we get people into the village? And I think that's an ongoing thing anyway. But to me, I just thought, right, if we have musicians in all of the shops and schedule them so that people are then forced to kind of go into everybody's businesses and shops, then you kind of get to have a bit of a sneak peek in the shops as well as listening to fantastic music as well. So I've got to be honest and say that was primarily the reason behind it, was to get people onto the high street.
Absolutely.
Because high streets are facing quite a challenge, have been doing so for many, many years. So maybe a podcast on that later on.
A podcast on the high street. Well, we initially thought we don't know what to talk about, and now we've got about 50 episodes, so we'll be there.
We did have a little bit of inspiration from the Pit and Weem Arts Festival as well. Remember, because we used to go to the Pit and Weem Arts Festival, and they had art everywhere in Pit and Weem, and that was part of the thing, wasn't it? We'll have music everywhere.
Yeah. So, but it was, it was good. It was a lot of involvement, and I haven't been involved for a long time. These guys just do amazingly well at actually pulling everything together, and because it's hard work. It is really hard work. So I think actually that if I remember back to that year, the Newport had just been bought out by Mark, who was involved as well, and it was just a brilliant night, because that was the kind of the big send-off, like what's happening with Funk Connection this year. It was it wasn't actually the Cinderins in there, they were in the church, but it was another band that were really, really good as well. Forgive me for not being able to recall the name, but it was just a fantastic night, and I think the momentum's just grown. And
well, that was 2013.
2013.
So we've spoken about this. Should be celebrating a 10-year anniversary, but we're kind of not, because there's 3 years we missed with COVID. So that's a kind of thing. But strength to strength, Sally, from there. And it does fill the high street and gets people, it's going to be really busy come the 22nd. I'm just trying to remember what date it is.
And the origins, were they to do with the solstice, weren't they? That's to do with the dates that we have.
Oh,
solstice.
That's right. And Mark had this really wacky idea. Do you remember? He talked about...
setting fire to a boat.
Like
up Pelliar.
That's right.
He would have I think it was a brainstorming session which got a bit wacky.
Right.
And at one point he was really quite keen on putting a boat out. I can't remember if it was a flaming arrow Viking style to set it.
I think they do that up. Did they not do that in the Shetlands or something? Well, ladies and gentlemen, but if you know the festival is yours, so write in if you find that's a good idea.
We have contacts with the boat club, so we might.
Anybody listening, write in. What would you like to see at the festival, and would you like to see a burning boat at the end of it? That could be a thing. But thanks, Sally. And there we go. So Becky and Sarah. Now, I would say that you two are probably. Certainly on the day, you're kind of a face of the festival. If there's a high vis to be seen, you're probably going to be wearing it. So, what are Becky? What are you going to be doing on the day?
Well, hopefully I'll be enjoying the festival, because we've organised it so well that everything will run smoothly. I mean, over the years I've kind of been involved in making sure that kind of like all the hay bales are out, that the traffic management is done.
Because I see you out and about, not on the festival, but 3 or 4 days before the festival.
We're getting all the banners up and the posters up and the programmes out, making sure that everyone knows where they need to be and when. And there's also a role as well with making sure that people are kind of safe and understand. So we've made sure, obviously, the last couple of years that there's been a welfare tent that's provided by the church as well. Right. So that's a great addition. I have been known in previous years to unjam traffic on the road, to deal with traffic cones, bollards, barriers, lost children, lost property, lost dogs.
So just like it was a proper, And what are your highlights this year? What are you looking forward to, if anything, there?
Well, I think I'm really looking forward to Funk Connection in the evening. I'm really looking forward to that. That is going to be kind of like the icing on the cake. But there's I think people just come forward with some really interesting ideas. And last year I think was the first ragtag parade from the Rio. That was great. That was so popular, and I think it builds the excitement with the children over the weeks before, and I just really enjoyed that parade, and I understand that that's happening again this year. And then there's always things that you've seen before that are nice to see again, like like there's the Bridge to Bridge Tapestry is going to be on show in
Hutchinson
Podiatry.
Right.
So that's a really nice collaboration with the history group and one of the shops, so that'll take people in. The church green's always great and goes like a train. The barbecues and the food's always amazing, and
bouncy castle.
Yeah, the bouncy castle's always there and loud, and the vintage ladies as well will be in the Agnes Duncan room again. So there's just going to be so much to
lots
see.
to do. Yeah. And so you're involved with all of that as well.
Yes,
as everybody.
Yeah. I think originally I became involved because initially the first year it was more of an adult music festival, and my interest is sort of children and families. At the time I had young children. I'm a teacher, you know, I kind of saw this huge potential to try and bring in more people to the high street, as Sally said, but, you know, family orientated, family activities. So obviously we don't have the advantage of having a big green space like a lot of towns and villages. So I saw the potential of our little green space on the church green. So we got the church involved and organised a whole series of sort of family activities there. So that's over the years has included the bouncy castle has been a major draw. Brian Lowe from Tayport has been fantastic. Initially, the first year or two, he didn't want any money. He just came along, put up his bouncy castle, and, you know, spent hours manning the bouncy castle and the children bouncing, and you know, it was just a huge draw to the church green. So we gradually brought in, you know, we wanted food there, so we had the barbecue. This is run by the Want Tennis Club now, so again, another community group that's involved. We have Liddy, who brings her African stall of her jewellery, so she sells and raises money for the Uphill Trust, which looks after a little town and a school in Uphill in Uganda. So she's been along now for a great number of years, and is a big supporter, and appreciates not just the fact that she can make money, but she can raise awareness for a very good cause. And we have, who else do we have? We have
Newport Parent Council.
The Newport Parent Council. So the last couple of years they have done a huge tombola. You've never seen such a big tombola. I think we had to bring out a third table to put all their tombola prizes on last year. And they also serve the strawberries from the Adamsons. They're very kind to us and give us a good deal on strawberries, and they get sold to strawberries on the church green as well. So, and I think we've got Donna here this year as well.
Donna with her paintings and what.
So she's going to be bringing her wild art paintings as well. So that's the church green, and then gradually around the village we've got one or two other things specifically for children. Sutherlands do their hair braiding. So I think that starts from about, is it midday onwards, something like that. And we've now got the barber in, and he's got some lovely colourful hairsprays that I think are going to keep the children entertained. So pop into both Sutherlands and the barbers.
And they'll do their
painting as well.
And we've got some face painting down at Kitchen Bake. And this year, new for Festival 2024, we have some petting ponies in the Newport car park.
Oh, right.
So it was brought to my attention, there's some lovely petting ponies that can go out to parties and events, and they have been very kind and said they'll bring them along and they'll have a little pen in Newport car park.
So it's just building and building, isn't it? It does just build and build. And the Fancy Dress Parade, Becky, you mentioned, yes, that goes from the Rio at midday, and we had the whole length of the high street last year on the Fancy Dress. So and adults, children, pets are all welcome at the Fancy Dress Parade. And scarecrows, Scarecrows.
Betty's obviously started introducing things in the week, in the days running up to the festival.
Running up to the festival, we've got the free lunch at the Rio, and
she's got the Animal Man coming in on
Animal Man's coming in
Wednesday, I think it is. And she's doing a scarecrow competition.
And food, she's got food available.
Yeah, so you can build a scarecrow, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be involved, not just come to the festival, you can be involved in it as well by building a scarecrow, or indeed come along to the Fancy Dress Parade at 12. But that's just the beginning of the day, and it'll go on all day. So you check Newport-on-Tay News, and we'll give you all what's going on. And you've also got the Newport Festival site, which you can look at on Facebook. And it's going to be a great day. Guys, anything else you want to add while we're here?
Lots of different types of food for people who like food. There's pizza, there's barbecue, there's Indian food from Taj Mahal, there's barbecue. There's two barbecues. There's barbecue at the Green and there's barbecue down the road.
Yep, the ham track train will be out, so if you've not experienced that
and
yet.
And then there's the fig and fromage, kitchen bake, and and the pubs are all doing food.
So basically, it's great, isn't it? Because really the
Food,
whole
drink,
of Newport is involved.
music.
So you can eat, you can drink, you can be entertained, you can go
Take part,
late
be
into the night, you
interactive.
can take part, you can do what you want.
And there's an open mic, so if anyone wants to do any music, there's open mic at
There's
the
your
club at 6.
At 6 o'clock.
There's your invitation. Yeah. And if you need a hand, just look for Becky and Sarah in their high-vis jackets, and they'll be happy to help. Well, guys, look, thanks very much. It was lovely for you to spend some time with me today, and we'll pop this up, and good luck with the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
I'm looking
you.
forward to it. Right, okay, guys, see you later. Thank you very
you.
much.
Bye.
Cheers now. Bye, bye. And there we go. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes.
So they all do. I mean, Becky, Sarah, you'll see them on the day, and obviously Angus and Sally were organising the rest of the festival. So say hello to them, because they do work really hard to get
high-vis up.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll be high-vised up, sorting out all the problems. So do say hello to them if you see them. So we've got the programme here, Mark.
Yes,
Have you had a wee look at it? Anything you fancy particularly on
There's
here?
a few things actually, yeah. There was kind of looking, where was it again? I like the idea. I've never heard of them before, but Anti and the Bacterials.
Anti-Antibacterials,
a
5
good name.
o'clock in the Newport Club.
Yeah, it's a
There's
good name.
one.
I like Owen Pilgrim Storyteller.
Oh yes, I've
Definitely.
seen him before.
Dolly and Friends Open Session sounds good as well.
And that's at 1 o'clock. David Anderson Marine. So there's the Marine, there's the Tyler Gallery, there's the Newport Club, Church
that's
Hall.
cool.
There's loads of stuff, and then we'll be at the Rio, or I'll be at the Rio anyway. And from 12 o'clock, you can join the fancy dress parade.
Yes.
And you don't even have to have fancy dress if you don't want to, but you can have fancy dress, and there's a prize at the end of it. And why not bring your pet?
Oh, like pet, yeah.
Yeah, and dress your pet up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can do that as well. So
I've got a goldfish.
have you?
Yeah.
Well, bring her, him. There's a they. Oh, right.
Well, I don't
Modern
know.
goldfish. So yeah, bring the goldfish. But yeah, bring, and if your pet's safe, you can bring it as well. So that's there. So you can come through and take part. And the fancy dress parade last year was the first year we did it, and you were there, Mark, weren't you?
Yeah.
And there was like. It was hundreds of people. It was like went
There's actually
right
too many.
Yeah, no,
Only
well,
joking.
it wasn't too many. No, we want more this year. More this year. But yeah, so I'm looking down here. I think there's a silent disco on as well, which is all the top festivals have silent discos for some reason. I'm not actually too sure, but and of course at night time, Funk Connection. We've mentioned that in the interview.
Open
there.
mic as well. That's always a good laugh.
A bit of an open mic. You want to give it a bit. That's between 6 and 7 in the Newport Club. So if you fancy taking part in the festival, that's where you want to be.
Definitely.
Between 6 and
I
7.
like the idea of Sakura Guitar Ensemble at Tatha Gallery 1 PM. I think I might go and see that.
Yeah.
As well. That's quite interesting.
You can have a good wander around. You can get the festival programme is on the page, so you can look on our page, or you can look on the Newport festival page. But basically, most of the venues in Newport, shops and everything have something. So have a wander around them all, say hello, and it will be fantastic. And I did spot one, Mark, and I'm just trying to find out where it is now. One of the ones that I'll definitely be going to. And I'm looking at this programme and I can't actually see it. So there you are. Haystack Monolith is on at 3 o'clock in Fig and Fromage. And that's you, Mark.
Yes, again, we did it last year.
Yeah, you did it, and that was like a highlight.
And Seth
last year.
Bennett as well.
And Seth Bennett is on double bass. So
Yeah.
this is proper. So we'll definitely. And Mark, you're going to sing us a wee song at the end.
Yes.
Aren't you? In fact, you're going to sing us the first song you wrote at the end of this edition.
Yes, about
Edition.
20 years old, I think.
When you were 20 years old.
No, the song's 20 years
Oh,
old.
the song's 20 years old. Oh, right. Okay, so quite good.
I don't think we
But that's it. But
a very old song.
very old song. And it's called. What's it called? That?
Fishing for bread.
Fishing for bread, and you will hear that at the end of this podcast, which we're coming up to, and of course we're coming live from Newport-on-TayTV TV Towers. We've not said that actually.
No.
Yeah,
I never
actually.
said the email address either.
We've not said the email address, no, but I think it's because we just assume people know it there. So the email address, newportontaytv@gmail.com, that's how to get in touch with us. Now, we don't have a mystery tale this week that you have to work out whether it's true or false, because I'm going to tell you an actual tale from Newport about booking a Glenn Matlock Sex Pistol. Yeah. So we did bring a famous person to the
Well,
Rio.
you would see me, we mean you.
Obviously, when I say we, I mean me. Yeah, that's me. It's me. I did it. But,
Take the glory.
I'll take the glory. But so the one night I was sitting just right here actually, and Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols was on Twitter, and he was just talking about his latest tour, and I tweeted him and said, Glenn, why not come to the Rio? And I didn't think anything would come of it, and pretty much quite soon after I did it, he wrote, when do you fancy?
We didn't expect that.
And I'm like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh my God, when do I, what? And so I wrote back, and you know what, I can't even remember what I wrote back. I was like, when can you do it? And he went, what about Monday the something of August, I think it was. And I went, right, okay, I'll check with the Rio tomorrow. I thought, this is unbelievable. And I had to, so anyway, I did not sleep a wink that night. I was lying in bed going, oh, Sex Pistol wants to come to Newport. So I remember getting up in the morning and I phoned up the Rio, and I think I got Jill. I said, Jill, right, I said, hold the bus, stop everything. I've got a Sex Pistol, I'm booking him, and he's coming to the Rio on, I think it was a Monday to something. And she went, all right, okay. She went, no. I said, what? She went, no. I said, no. I said, why? She went, we've got dog obedience classes on.
I forgot.
I said, you've got dog obedience. I said, but I've got a Sex Pistol. I said, can the dogs just not have a week off or something? And she went, no, they're regular lets. So I had to then text Glenn Matlock and say, oh, hi, Glenn. Well, look, we've got dog obedience classes on a Monday. He said, whoa, right. And he texted me back, and he was nice about it. He says, well, I can do the Tuesday. I said, right, okay. So bumping him off for some. So I phoned the Rio back, and I said, right. I said, okay, Glenn from the Sex Pistols, he'll do Tuesday. And she went, yep, Tuesday's fine. Oh, no, Pilates. And I said, I am not getting back in contact with him to say we're cancelling a Sex Pistols gig because Pilates is on.
And the dog show.
And the dog show.
The dog
yeah, and the dog. I mean, it was just, I was like, but she said, well, sometimes they cancel and they're only on from 7 till 8, so you can kind of work around it. I thought, you know what, fine, we'll just do it. And I booked Glenn. And it was quite a hard thing to organise, I have to say. I had to get this.
You've never done it before.
Well, I'd never done it before. And I remember messaging him and going, it's all booked in, Glenn, no problem. And he said, right, fine. I never spoke to him. I'm just tweeting him, by the way, or emailing him. I had his email by that time. I've got his number on my phone. He's probably changed it now, but I did have his number on my phone. But and he said, right, that's fine. So this was the big, long wait. And I remember messaging him and saying, right, do you need sound or anything? And he goes, and he went, yeah. He said, you have to organise all of that. And I was like, oh no, right. So anyway, but we did it, didn't we? And Mark, you came along and you supported Glenn.
I did.
Was that a good night?
It was great.
It was good. Yeah. It was good. And we filled the Rio, and it was only the night before he actually phoned me. And he was like, and I spoke to him, and that was the first time I spoke to him, I was like, I think that, and I answered the phone, and he was like, oh, it's Glenn here, how you doing? And I was like, I'm fine, Glenn, yeah, how are you? And he was like, that's but you know what? It was a brilliant night, wasn't it? It was packed out the Rio, obviously, it was sold out. And Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols came along, and I remember doing the sound checks, and I went, oh, it was a brilliant night. And I remember all the sound stuff coming in. It was like Nebworth, you know what I mean? It was just brilliant. And Glenn came along and played a gig, and it was fantastic. And he sang a couple of Sex Pistols songs, and everybody loved it. And then, because we got on so well, he came back again. Oh, yeah. Remember? Yeah. But he came back with a full band. The first time he did it was just himself, and he came back with a full band, including Earl Slick from, he is famous for playing with John Lennon and David Bowie. And he was a real treat. He was really nice, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Earl Slick. He brought along Earl Slick, and then he liked it so much, he came back again, and he came back and did a wee solo spot and promoted his book, which wasn't quite out yet. And I just remember this sort of American guitarist, and he looks like an American guitarist. He's got all the scarves on and all the everything on. And he sort of came in to the Rio. This is the second time he'd been to the Rio, and he walked into the Rio, and all the books are all around, and all the bric-a-brac and all this. I mean, it's a long way from Live Aid, let's face it. But he came in, and he was like, oh man, I love this place. I just love this place. And I was like, oh wow, this is good. So, and he came back. So we'll have to maybe get him back again at some point, actually. But yeah, that is not a mystery tale from Newport-on-Tay, ladies and gentlemen. This is an actual tale. So yeah, I mean, there's a bit of dubiety about Elvis and Sylvester Stallone, but this is not. This is absolutely bona fide true. There are plenty of people in Newport will tell you of that. Yeah, well, maybe pop a wee clip of it
as well.
Yeah, it's on the, as I was going to say, yeah, it's on the internet, so we could maybe pop a wee clip of it up. So yeah, that's our very famous tale from Newport-on-Tay, and it's true. Yeah, not the best jingle I've ever written,
But it's a good jingle. I was enjoying it.
It's on the
actually.
hoof there,
I
like,
want to do it for longer.
Yeah, well, we'll do a longer. We'll do what they do on Now Have I Got News for You. We'll do a longer version, late night version. But so, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lesson to learn. If you want somebody to come here
Ask
and
them.
play the Rio, ask them, and you never know, because these guys and ladies, whatever, they all want to play. They want people to book them.
And sometimes want to go to different places because we've played in lots of places. They're pretty bored of the same old venues and go.
Yeah.
I've never played in a community centre in Newport.
Yeah. So why not?
Yeah, why
and it was
not?
good. You've seen the postal. Glenn Matlock is like Liverpool Cavern, Glasgow Garage, Newport-on-Tay, Rio. And it's like, whoa, yeah. So it's good. So do it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not that stressful. And see when it happens. It's just brilliant. So if you know somebody, comedy, anything, get them here. That's a good idea. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to just mention something here, because up until this episode, Mark, who's extraordinaire at editing and different music things and what have you, has been editing the podcast. So if you notice this one is slightly different, it's because it's my first shot at it.
You did a grand job.
Do you think so?
Yeah, definitely.
I just feel we're talking here today and it might not even get released. So hopefully you're hearing this, ladies and gentlemen, and it means that
it's been a success.
Yeah, we've managed to cobble. I've managed. So Mark's helping. Don't get me wrong, but we're managing to cobble together this podcast because we're definitely doing it. So there we go. But I think that's actually that's it for this week anyway. What do you think?
It's flown past.
It has flown past again. So now normally we sing a song together at the end.
You can join in if you want to.
Can I join in?
Yes.
Well, it's a festival special. So what now? I'm going to tell you a couple of things. So you can catch Mark as Haystack Monolith, and who's playing with you?
Seth Bennett.
Seth Bennett is playing with him. Seth's on a double bass. It's going to be a fantastic gig. And we're not showing favourites. Oh, we are showing favourites. Yeah, Mark's the favourite. And he's on at 3 p.m. at Fig and Fromage. So do not miss it. And I can tell you now, and I've had a little snippet of this, Mark has written an exclusive brand new track for the festival, and specifically about cheese, because you're playing in Fig and Fromage.
Yeah, I didn't actually mention the word fromage in that song, but I can always change.
Oh yeah, you could just still writing it. Are you a bit? No,
Well, that'll do.
pretty much. But for the moment, Fishing for Bread is the first song that Mark wrote, and it's a brilliant song, and I'm sure many of you have probably heard it already. And we're going to finish off with that for this week. So we'll be back soon. So do stay tuned, and we'll be talking about another festival when we come back, because there's another festival going on.
Oh yeah.
In where is it again?
Arts.
In Fogan Arts Centre, being put on by the Big Rock Boys. Now you can buy tickets for that, and it's on the 3rd. I think it's the 3rd of August.
Yeah.
Was it 3rd of August? So Newport or Fogan Arts' first music festival is coming up at the Fogan Arts Centre on the 3rd of August, and I've had a chat with them, and it'll be on the next podcast. So just to let you know. Anyways, we've got this festival to get. Newport's full of festivals. It's unbelievable.
It's
but
a place to be.
we're going to finish with Mark, or should I say, Haystack Monolith, and he's going to sing you Fishing for Bread. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much. Mark,
Bye.
over to you.
Fishing for bread in the dead black dead, in the dead black dead of the night. Stroking my head, the still soft head of his favourite cat called Mike. Toast IP whispered to the sky, "What bread dry? Why must it be wet? It's no good for soup nor man nor beast, and it makes the fish upset." Do up a do up a doobity doo, do up a do up a doobity doo, up a do up a do up a doobity doo, do up doobity up doo. Fishing for a farmer, plant your field, you can bear his fruits like a poppy. You can suck on his roots and fill his boots and use his head like a hockey. Gold post eye whispered to the sky, "I want the farmer to die, his fruits will turn all mouldy." He shivered in the cold of his hat was stolen by a man from Kirkcaldy. Do up a do up a doobity doo, do up a do up a doobity doo, up a do up a do up a doobity doo, do up doobity up doo. Fishing for steak with a 10-foot rake in a field filled with gold. I've had medium rare cooked and pubic hair for only 15.60 sold. I whispered to the sky, I really did try to leave these cows alone, but after 2.5 years of broccoli and tears, I need some hemoglobin. One more time now.
that. We will see you the next time. Enjoy the festival. Take care of yourselves. Love you all.
Bye.
Remember and write in. See you later.